So, how do you sell coaching services if you have a small audience or you don't have a big following? And a lot of people think you have to have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers to be able to make a lot of money as a coach. But the reality is you could have 1 million followers and none of them are good clients for you. They're not people that you actually want to sell to or can sell to. You know, if you go on a cat podcast and you get 1 million followers from the cat podcast, but then you have a coaching offer on financial services, you're barely going to have any chance at all of getting any clients from that. So the reality is it's not the size of the audience that matter, it's the quality. So let's assume you guys are in a situation, you've got a couple thousand, maybe 4,000 or 5,000, but they're the right people. Number one, the best thing you could do here is have a high ticket coaching offer. Have something that you charge 10 grand, 25 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand for. And I know some new coaches are gonna watch this, you're gonna say, oh my God, I could never charge 100 grand. Well, if you solve a big enough problem, if they can make $1 million as a result of you solving this problem for 100 grand, people will buy that all day long. Most people will never get a 10-to-1 return on their ad spend. They'll never get a 10-to-1 return on any of their marketing or salespeople. So if you can get them a 10-to-1 return, they'd absolutely spend 100 grand. So the trick to this is solving big enough problems for the right kinds of clients. I have a guy that I know who's a coach he's a fitness coach, and he charges 5 grand per month. Per month, that's 60 grand a year. But what he does is he trains highly competitive bodybuilders. So he's training guys that their goal is to win the Mr. Olympia contest. That's worth 5 grand a month because the people that are actually getting results and are placing in the top 1, 2, or 3 can see long term that they're going to be in that number 1 spot at some point. And so you have to understand that it's not the size of the audience, it's the size of the result that you can get. It's one of the key points, especially for those of you that are new to coaching. Now, the second thing here is when it comes to solving problems, you have to pick the right audience to begin with. And this is tricky because a lot of times people say, well, you know, I'm not somebody that can make companies a lot of money. Like, I don't know any skills like sales or marketing or anything where I could put in a little bit of effort and because of their scale, they can make a lot of money back in return. And the reality is business is significantly more nuanced than that. As an example, you could be an HR person. You could have been in HR for 20 years. And companies, especially at scale, doing 50 to a couple hundred million or more per year, they're always struggling to find good employees. They need top tier talent. And the problem is, even though there's 8 billion people in the world, they're all at various stages of their careers, and they're all at various skill stages. It's very hard to narrow down to only the A players, which might make up for only 1% of the entire world population. So the trick to understanding this is getting clear on who your target clients are and putting together an offer that gets them a 5 to 10x return on their money. With my guy that trains bodybuilders, he figured out if he wanted to make great money without having to work with a lot of people, he needed to go super niche into what he knew best, which was bodybuilding. Rather than doing weight loss coaching or something else where he has to sell a lot of people for a little amount of money, he went the opposite direction. And he got very specific. And the third thing is you need to have conversations. And what I mean by that is you should be doing webinars on a regular basis. I mean, if you're new, I would do a webinar every week. 1 person, 2 people, 3 people get on, you might close 1, 2, or 3 people on there every single week. So let's say best case scenario, you get 10 on, you close 3, you're making 12 sales a month. And if the price is good, let's say it's, you know, 3 grand or something, you're making $36,000 a month with essentially 50 people attending your webinars. Basically, you're making great money for almost nothing. So you need to get yourself in a situation where you can talk to a lot of people. That's going to be webinars, it's going to be speaking on stage, it's going to be doing podcasts, it's going to be going to in-person events. A lot of times you could go to one in-person event and pick up 3 to 5 clients because people tend to trust you more if they've met you in person. But the other side of the conversation piece is, encourage people to engage with you on your social channels. When you're posting content, like you guys watching this video here, all my videos I stop and I say, hey, just as a heads up, and I'm telling you guys this now, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do yourself a favor. I've been in the coaching space for 10 years. I've worked with some of the top coaches in the online space for all of that time. It absolutely will help you out. But also, if you guys have questions, post questions in the comments, in the comment section below. I don't have an assistant that answers my comments for me. I answer all those myself, and I will always do that because I know I'm the only person that can give you guys the answers you're looking for. My assistant cannot do that. And so, just like I did here with you guys, I'm calling you to action. I'm saying, hey, make sure to subscribe. Drop a question in the comment section below. Let me help you hands-on. Let me actually help you guys. Do that on your own socials. Push people to engage and do it consistently. Most people, they'll do this a couple of times and they stop doing it. If you guys watch my YouTube videos, I'm posting like 3 of these every single day, and every single video I am calling people to subscribe. I'm calling people to check out my Stealth Closer system, where I take my 15 years of doing high ticket sales, usually $100 grand, $250 and $1 million, and I'm telling them to take action to go get that, because anybody who isn't investing in themselves isn't really invested in their dreams. So you need to be consistent with regards to actually having conversations with people, getting them to engage with you on your socials, getting them onto webinars, getting them to in-person events. But you also need to make sure that, if you're a coach, you have to build your life in a way that people are looking at you and they're like, I want to live that life. Like, I always thought in the back of my mind before I got into the online business space, I always thought, man, I want to be the kind of person that I can work wherever I am. You guys see I'm outside of a Whole Foods. I'm on a walk to the zoo. I'm going to go hang out at the zoo today. I'm going to get a couple of hours of work in, and then I'm just going to enjoy myself. And so you want to set up your life in a way that your target market looks at you and says, I want that kind of life. I can't tell you guys how many coaches I've met that, like, they sit at a computer all day long. I'm like, is this what you actually want to spend all your time doing? You want to sit at a computer your whole life? I mean, you don't want to hit the Swiss Alps? You don't want to see what's going on in Australia? Check out the skyscrapers in Dubai and, walk the streets of Copenhagen? Like, I designed my life in a way that I was like, I want to be everywhere. I want to be able to just go. And so if you're, if you've got a smaller audience and you're trying to just get some sales, all of the first 3 parts of this will help you to get started, to get things going. But the reality is, it's not enough to just say, well, that's, now I'm making 30 grand a month, that's it. Because if you're not leveling up, your clients are going to get to a certain point where they get comfortable. And the reality is, none of us are ever functioning at 100% of our potential, because our capability, our actual potential increases every single time we increase our skill set and our lifestyle. And so you want to make sure that you don't just settle because all of a sudden you're making 30 grand a month or 40 grand a month or 50 grand a month, whatever your magic number is. You need to make sure that on top of selling to that small audience, you find a way over time to expand it, because you're expanding as a person. The reality is, a lot of people want all these followers and all these people to pay attention to them, but they don't realize that their audience will automatically expand as they expand as people. So take all of this, for those of you that are just starting, by the way, like, just look for the right people, sell a product that gets them a 10x result. And then, for those of you that are already in space, this is a good reminder, keep leveling up.